Hello, this is Lisa Hazard and Misty Lore with We're All Psychic. It's our weekly touch and base. How's your base, Misty?
My bass is good. How is your bass?
Mine is hollow but twangy.
Ooh, I like twangy.
Like Primus.
Sounds like a good place to be.
So, Misty, how was your week? What did you do?
Um, Not too much. Nothing too exciting this week.
Yeah,
Yeah, nothing too exciting.
yeah. We had
How
some.
about you? I know you've had a lot of sickness this week in your house.
Yeah, my one of my boys and my husband have one has one thing and one has the other thing. But boy number three or child person man, I'm sorry, they're all men
Man,
now.
yeah.
Man number three, other son is fine. He's healthy. So and I'm healthy now too. So
Well, that's good.
So this week we want to talk about how when anybody is starting to use their gifts or abilities or their juju or their magic, sometimes there's some fear involved. Sometimes there's a whole lot of it. And sometimes it can be paralyzing how scary it can be. So that was what I want to talk about today. And Misty had talked to me about a family member who is opening up her mind and opening up her energy again. And she had been very open when she was younger. But now she's like exploding with abilities waking up again because she had turned them off. Is that right, Misty?
Yeah, it's
just
crazy.
shut it down, kind of like you did it in your 20s. You just kind of shut them off.
But I mean, she really she did things that I didn't do.
Well,
I mean, she had like out of body experiences while meditating.
yeah.
But she said she was like looking down at her body.
Yeah.
And it scared the crap out of her because she didn't know if she could go back in her body. So yeah, I've never had that happen. So
yeah, so it sounds like she was really pumped full of all that stuff and had nowhere to go or talk to anybody about, right?
No.
Yeah. When I say pumped full of that stuff, I mean the magic and juju and energy. The energy, it just seemed like it must have been. I mean, she was like in her 20s and meditating and didn't know about out of body experiences or astral travel and just like popped out. That happened to me when I was a little kid. I've never been able to do it at will, but it scared me so much that I popped back in. Never been able to do it again.
That's what she did. And that's what I told her. I was like, keep meditating and don't be scared. And she's already started meditating, and now she just started back, and she's already progressed like further than I have. I've been working on this for a minute, but yeah.
She is a little older than you. She has a few years on you.
Yeah. Well, I have to say it. The only thing that we have to fear is fear itself.
And zombies.
I mean, really, it's that statement is so true.
It really is
true. We hold ourselves back, from so many things because we're scared.
Yeah. I'm definitely one of those people.
Yeah, but you know what you find though, that like if you're really scared to do something and you finally get the nerve to do it and you do it, and then you're like, wow, that wasn't so bad after all. Or, that roller coaster was fun. Or, what I mean? And then you want to do it again and again and again. Yeah. It's just getting to that point where, okay, I'll get on, It's funny how it works, but
I've noticed.
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. You go ahead.
No, thoughts gone.
That's how mine goes too. I was thinking about like when people work with the spirit world seems to be when they're scared the most. Not so much with tarot cards or divination tools or anything, or a pendulum. You know how they move. People can rationalize those things. They can rationalize the tarot cards. Maybe you did know it psychically, and the cards. That's how I do it. The cards help me pull out what I already know. And it's kind of how all tools work, like the pendulum and scrying and tea leaves and all that stuff is like, it can be rationalized scientifically by this person or even otherwise. This person already has this information somehow by observing or something. But when you get into like spirits and popping out of your body and stuff like that.
Right.
Just,
you can't explain it.
yeah, that's stuff that's what I always had a problem with my abilities or whatever I do. I was like, well, how does the medium stuff work? What's going on with that? Why is that even? How can I know? And when I first
Right.
started, having them come, it wasn't scary when my cousin came the first time, and
Right.
they always kind of
Because
came.
that was familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And they started coming more when I was like half asleep, so I wasn't scared. To where I was in a kind of like a trance kind of state of mind. But
Yeah.
for you, what would be like can you think of certain times when you tried things or tried to use your energy in some way, or something just happened that scared you that you were trying to achieve like that?
Yeah. I mean, just the thought of like when I first started meditating, I could pretty much get in there pretty fast.
Right.
And then I remember like one of the first times that I really started doing it, there was like this dark tunnel thing, and at the very end of it was like this little cottage door.
Oh.
And I started going down the tunnel, and I got scared because I didn't know what was behind the door, and it freaked me out. So I was like, nope. And then I was right back out.
Yeah.
And then I started like, I was trying to switch my mind around a little bit. And anyway, I was reading a little bit on angels and stuff. And they said that if you look in the mirror behind like a white wall in the light, and you put the mirror in front of you, you're supposed to see your aura like a couple inches above your head. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Sometimes. Somebody actually asked me if I can read auras in a reading last night. And I had a woman kind of teach me. I always kind of thought, I don't know, am I seeing one or not? But this woman, Sheila, the angel woman I told you about.
That's who I read it from. Yeah.
She like when in this reading last night, I could see things, but not, I mean, I see colors and stuff, but like between this man and this woman who were together, they were a couple. They had like it looked like an infinity symbol, like two things coming out of her head. They were like different colors, but they changed colors. I think at first I told them they were green, and then they turned gold or something. They were coming out of her head like this, and then meeting like in the middle, like two things coming. I'm trying to imagine how to describe this for a podcast. Yeah. And then, because you can see me, but they can't. And then from his head, on the side of his head, he had two things coming out and meeting at that knot in the middle. And it was just flowing like back and forth between their heads.
Like they were sharing each other energy.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, or thoughts. So there's a real connection. I don't know what that meant, but I mean, the best term I could think of was an infinity symbol.
Yeah.
And they were there for, twin flame reading. And I was like, is that what that means? Maybe. I don't know. But,
wow.
Yeah, but I was looking for it.
That's a strong connection.
I was looking for anything, I was like, well, what do I see? And I saw that, and I did see some colors, but then I saw that, and I was like, oh,
that's even prettier.
Yeah, so I think for
you're still learning too.
Oh gosh, yes, you never stop.
Yeah.
I don't think. I
know, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to. I want to keep learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're so talented anyway, is what I'm saying. It's fun to still watch you learn,
I learned a lot. I always have to learn a lot. I always have to learn the hard way too, which is going back to fear,
Oh yeah. That's the fun way, right?
Yeah, the hard way, where you learn the lesson, bam!
Yes.
In your gut.
Take that.
But when I was 27, I had both a psychotic break and I guess you could say an energetic crazy break. It was the same thing in a way, but there was a lot of fear around then because I was really starting to see spirits like nonstop. I couldn't filter them out, and the bad ones were coming through, and it was terrible. I didn't know they were spirits, but I kind of did, but didn't. Wasn't sure. Who do I talk to about this? They told me I was crazy, that kind of thing. And so I just didn't tell anybody about it. I just experienced it in my head and just.
And there was no internet either to go search and look and
not
see.
Like this, not like there is now.
No,
yeah,
I mean.
Like 2001. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't have the ability to do that, to see what was, if other people had the same issues or,
Yeah, yeah.
So that
And
had to have been hard.
yeah, and it wasn't until I got to Phoenix when I was still 2001 when I moved back to I was just in Nashville for a short time. That's when I had my psychotic break, but it was really terrifying. I mean, I don't know if it was I think what I think it was is just very bad energy or spirits or something getting to me and taking advantage of the fact that I could perceive them
Mm-hmm.
and just terrifying me like on purpose, like showing me
That's not
horrible,
nice.
really visual, gory, smelling. I could everything. I could just smell and taste and hear and feel everything, and
Mm-mm.
it was very repetitive, violent stuff, and it was terrifying. So yes, there's some stuff out there that can scare the ever living shit, and I don't say shit on the show much, but this will do it.
Yeah,
um,
but you know what though? If I saw anything like that, I'd be scared shitless too.
yeah, and the
Yeah,
weird
I
thing
said it.
was, yeah, you will. I will just shitty shit.
Yeah, that's right. Shit, shit, shit. I said it. Okay, let's move on.
I feel better. So when I was going through all that stuff, like I had a fiance at the time, and we were living in a small apartment in Nashville. Now, when I was younger, I'd always been afraid of when I tried to do something and it worked out. I would like to take a step back. And I don't know if I've talked about this before, but when I was probably about 22 or 23, I started playing with a playing card deck. I was just sitting in my bedroom at night and thinking I'd already tried to move a paperclip with my mind. That was like an ongoing.
Yes,
Every night I spend like 5 minutes trying to move that paperclip. So
yes, yeah.
I was working on all this stuff, and
Did
I
you
got
ever move it?
no,
Okay,
sadly no. I like you were saying, we
right.
wish just wave one and we would do all
I
the
know.
fun,
All right,
but
go ahead. I just want to know if you moved it or not.
no,
Okay.
I've never moved it. I would love if I had. It'd be like I'd be doing something else right now.
I've been
I'd be
moving
like
some money in
moving
my bank
everything.
account.
I'd be moving shit. I said shit.
I've been moving some money over. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like I got a deck of playing cards out and I put them face down, shuffle and put them face down and spread them out. And I was like, I'm gonna find an ace. I'm just gonna look at it and feel like like with my hand or my eyes, just feel where an ace is. And we went the very first time I did it, I pulled that ace.
See, I've done
And
that before too.
yeah, and then like,
Yeah.
but the weird thing was is I wasn't that scared. So I pulled another ace and another ace, and then like
Yeah.
I could did that all night long. I could pull out the cards.
Yeah.
And if I missed one, then I'd pull like a card that was related to it in some way, or like the one
Like
right
the
next to it
king
was.
or yeah.
Yeah, like the same suit or like the eight. If I was looking for the eight of diamonds, sometimes I would get really specific and try to find like the eight of diamonds. I might get the eight of hearts instead.
Right. But you
And
still got the 8. Yeah.
yeah, and I told my brother about that, and he's like, "Well, are you sure you didn't just hallucinate seeing the correct cards?" I was like, "Hmm." So I went and did it.
No,
Did it, but
your
I couldn't
brother's
do it.
messing with your
No, he was
head.
right. He was like giving me questions to ask, and I was like, okay, but I could, I couldn't do. I never did it for anyone else because I was too afraid I wouldn't be able to. The fear,
You are afraid. Fear
the
got
fear.
you.
Yeah, I was afraid if I showed someone that I wouldn't be able to do it, or if I did, what did that mean? What does that mean? And so a lot of the fear comes behind what does it mean if this
Yeah.
is real? What does it mean if you can do
That's
that?
so funny that you said that about the cards because um well, I guess everybody's going to know this now that plays cards with me. But like I can play just about any game like in cards and I'm so good at it because I put the intention out that I'm going to win before it even starts and it works.
It does
And
work, yeah.
like and I have even predicted what the other person was going to put down before
Ooh.
they saw the card and that
Yeah.
freaked him out. But
yeah.
my husband won't play games with me anymore, but it sucks. But anyway, yeah. But it reminds me of, I did some stuff like that too, but I would try to predict what the other person was going to do instead of what I was going to pick.
Right. That's really
and I got it a lot too. And it's so neat how I mean, there's no science behind it. You can say there is, but there's not. I know you've got so many,
You can rationalize it and reason it, and
right.
yeah.
But no, I've done it so many times to where there's no question.
Don't you think there's a feeling to it when you do it? Like there's a feeling to just knowing it, like that trivia question kind of thing almost. And
yes.
Like the first time it worked for you and you consciously were doing it, were you afraid? And like, oh, she did put down the Queen of Spades or anything like that.
Well, no, I didn't get really afraid. It's kind of like what you said. Like I didn't get really afraid until it really started happening over and over again. And I was like, oh, crap. This is not a coincidence. You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah. And I don't know if I started messing up after that or not. I don't know. I don't remember. But it wouldn't surprise me because then the fear was in me and that caused me to doubt myself and probably not get it right. Kind of like life, what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
I mean, we're all so afraid of what other people are going to think or what other people could do to us or we could do to other people. I mean, I could go on and on and on about, the fear of this and the fear of that, but really, we're creating the fear ourselves. Yeah. And we're putting that energy out there. And that's just bad energy. We need to try to turn it around and put good vibes out there and get rid of that fear. And maybe we can, conquer more things in life,
I think at the root of that fear is an insecurity and also a fear of the unknown because a lot of stuff supposedly is unknown. Yeah. So I think, if this happens to the random person, something mystical or magical or, predictive, they're looking for it and it happens, I imagine just shock more than anything. And the fear would come after you think.
It usually does. That comes out at night when you've closed your eyes and you're like, oh,
yeah. So do you have any advice for people like who may be listening to the podcast who have that fear, like when they try to meditate and maybe they start coming out of their body, or maybe they start getting into the stuff and it just goes really fast, like your relative, I mean, what would your advice be to someone like that? Like,
well, I told that person, I told them to go further down the tunnel, do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't know what your intentions are, but I mean, you can find out if you go through that tunnel further. You know what I mean? And stay in that meditative state, but and then for most of us that, are meditating and we're trying, but nothing's happening, I would say baby steps. And that's what I've had to do. Because gosh, just meditating by itself is hard to do. It's not easy, to actually sit in silence and try to, erase everything that's going on in your brain and concentrate. It's hard.
Yeah, it can be.
And it's hard. It's hard to do it for, a long period of time. But like I said, baby steps. I remember when I first started, it wasn't 1 or 2 minutes,
There's a puppy. Sorry, I got excited. She has a puppy on her camera. What a cutie.
She's a wreck.
That's something. Yeah, that is something actually. She has a good point. If there is fear or if there's doubt or if you're feeling frustrated because you're not moving as fast as you think you should, get you a puppy, get you a kitten. You probably have one.
Yes.
You're an empath. You probably have
a little animal.
You love on them. And you ever get into that with your pet where you just like petting them and loving it? You just kind of lose time and everything, and you just forget looking in those eyes and just getting those ears. And for me, listening
and that belly.
The belly.
That belly.
Yeah, so next time you're afraid, think of a belly.
I know, like I said that, and my other little dog is like running over here now.
Oh, hi. God, they really do, man. This is what we're gonna do. Misty and I talked about that. Oh, snuffles into the microphone. Get it?
She knows what we're talking about. It. She's like trying to molest me.
She's so cute. Oh my goodness.
Oh, loving dog. I'll give her that.
Oh, look at them licking each other's faces. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, they like to make out.
But that like cheered me up. I mean, I wasn't in a bad mood, but just seeing that pupper and the other one, just I got so happy when I saw them.
It's like unconditional love,
It really is.
like she just came up to me and like it's like she knew I was talking about her.
Oh, she is again, yeah. To those who are listening, Misty and I were planning on doing a podcast about animal spirits and animal spirit guides soon. We were going to do that tonight, but we had a conversation earlier about her relative. We wanted to give like people like her some advice. So, Misty, you have great advice, and I would like to add, for whoever may be listening, even the frustrated people who aren't getting scared because nothing's happening, I think. Well, something's happening, I guarantee you.
Yes, I agree.
They're taking you in baby steps for a reason. So, because maybe the fear factor might be a little too much for you, they might think, or they don't want to, like, the spirits who help you and guide you and take you through, you make all the decisions from what I understand, but the guides who are with you and the angels, whoever wants to spiritually be with you and help you, like, I don't think they let you go too far unless you're ready. So, and apparently,
well, I'm learning that right now.
Your relative and you were both ready a long time ago, but for some reason, insecurities and the fears kept you from going on. So,
I'm learning that big time. I mean, like you said earlier, we were talking about how, like, I've asked her to get in touch with 2 people that I know that have passed, and both of them basically said, well, you're going to learn how to do this. So basically, we're not going to let Lisa know anything. It's basically what they did.
Yeah.
And Lisa's like, I've never had that happen before. And I was like, of course you haven't. So, there, 2 different people or spirits are telling me that I'm going to be able to do it, but nothing's happening. That's frustrating.
It is, yeah. So let's say
whatever.
Like, let's give an example for, okay, first of all, it's frustrating. Let's say every night you go to bed and say to a spirit, please come to my dreams. So, or come to my dreams is one way you can do it to start out seeing them.
I've done that. Yeah.
And then you did too, right?
Yeah.
And then
I did.
And then you want to start doing that, like just sitting on the couch with no one, or you can do it with people around too, if you feel safer, and just kind of invite them, and see what happens. Look around, see if you notice anything. When
I've done that.
It can terrify. It can be really terrifying to people who have, and you are one of those people that have big imaginations. Although I think that's something you have to reconnect. I feel like you've cut off some of your creativity from when you were younger, because you have a lot of creative energy. And I can see it, especially she made me some little cloth bags and all this stuff. She's really good at, so I imagine you just have a ton of little things you can do, a ton of big things you can do too. But
when I'm in the mood,
driven. So I mean, my best advice for people like your relative and for your relative is that it's okay to be afraid. Just examine what makes you afraid. Examine it. Look it in the eye and pull it apart by its little legs and ears and that fear, and examine what the heart of it is. And then you won't be as scared most likely next time, because you can identify it before it scares you, and you can stay in your place. Like this particular person, like you said, was meditating, and she felt like she went to, you want to describe it?
Well, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. We're talking about my mother. So we'll just throw that out there. But what did you want me to describe? Like what happened?
Like when she was meditating and then she went.
Okay. Okay. So the first time she started meditating, did I already tell you about that when she was in her 20s, when she had that out of body experience? Yeah, I said that because you said that you had the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So she just started back again, and right when she started meditating, she saw this black tunnel. And she was kind of scared to go through it. So then the next time she had the black tunnel, and then there was the best way to describe it was an Abraham Lincoln looking guy, with the long coat and there was people around him.
So
And
like
so
the late
she,
1800s or
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's how they were dressed. And like she went through the tunnel and she got maybe a 5-second glimpse, and then she pulled herself out. Um, so I told her, I was like, next time, try to stay there a little bit longer, and find out, more out of it, because you're already moving so fast, I mean, from just meditating twice to seeing that is amazing.
And what did she
So
say? What made her so afraid when she was there for about 5 seconds? And did she see anything, or is just the experience itself so shocking?
I think it was probably more of the experience, but she wasn't expecting it either.
Right, right.
I think that's a lot of it, because when we don't expect to see anything and then we do, that fear takes over and we're like, whoa, what was
Yeah,
that? And then it's too late to go back.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? The moment's gone and
And
you
it's
have
like,
to try to
but you
recreate
can
it
do it
again.
again. You can totally do it again. She can, and she will. She will.
Yeah,
And my
she
advice,
will.
my advice to your mom is to definitely look at exactly, like, examine where the fear came from. Is it really just the shock? Then try to shock, shock, not electrically shock, but shock yourself a few times. Have some people jump out at you and try to boo, like your husband, and just try to get that feeling under control of just shocked, and then jump out. And I think that would help her a lot. And she might I think there's some messages for her. I think that's why they've been there for a long time. And
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of worry with it. She's a warrior.
Oh,
a warrior. And so I think like the first time she was worried, like I said, that she couldn't get back in her body, and
Right.
So I think this time's probably kind of the same thing, but I think she's got a lot of potential, and I think that she can go a lot further than she thinks she can.
Well, all I have to say is she is great at manifesting. I mean, look at you.
Well, and that's the thing.
I mean, she made you. She made you out of
I
nothing. That's a
know
miracle.
she did. But here's the thing. It's like she's always told me, Misty, you're going to do, great things and you have these abilities and, you just need to awaken them and using them. And, I'm listening to her all these years when, now I'm finding that I need to be telling her these things because she has got a very strong ability to do these things faster than I do. Maybe I can learn from her on the way,
Sounds like she can learn from you on the way too, and you're going different journeys. I don't know if your mom does tarot or anything like that, but you're just those cards. I mean, you were just really great at tarot. You said you went a little too far, and you had like 4 different cards from like 3 different decks in your room.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the way to do it. I mean, I don't know if that's the way, but when I looked at that just made sense. You just intuitively did that, right?
Yeah, and here's the thing too, and this is kind of what I'm thinking, and this is why, and this is another thing having to do with fear. So like when you have
I thought you said beer.
Beer. It has to do with beer. That's the whole thing. But it's fear, and if you have one deck of cards and you pick out one card, okay, and it tells you this, well, I want confirmation on that because I am scared that that's really not the answer that I want. So I'm going to do 5 or 6 different things and put it all together and see what it says. And I did that. I did that for you. And what's funny is it was all messages that you needed to hear, and they were all, confirming the question that you asked. And not one of them was negative or saying not to do it. Like it was confirmed definitely.
and I felt it when I looked at the pictures and you told me what you told me. I was just like, oh, like you got that. I don't know if your mom does divination, but you've got a really great touch with, especially with soothing people's feelings about their anxieties. And soothing their fears. Maybe that's why mom called you to, like.
Yeah. And you're probably right. Yeah. But you have got a lot of talent, like I said before, but you've got a lot of fear too still,
Oh
that
yeah.
you're working
Oh
on.
yeah.
I mean, we all do, but I think you could really go far, Lisa, if you would let some of it go, because you've
Yeah.
got a lot of work to do, girl.
I'm old though. I want to retire.
Oh no, you're gonna be like me.
Yeah, I'm gonna work till I'm in the grave, probably. Yeah,
I
work
know.
myself in. I'm gonna dig the hole.
Yeah, and then sit and wait. And then die in a plane crash and get blown up.
Yeah. And I'll be damned if my arm isn't somehow getting in that hole. Something that made that hole is going in it.
I know. That's my luck. That's why I could laugh.
And that's another thing. That's another thing you can do for fear is make yourself laugh about stuff you're afraid of.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Make fun of
Laughter's good
anything.
medicine.
Yeah, that's a really, yeah, it really is. And it's just fun.
It is.
Who doesn't want to laugh?
I know. And like some people might even think I'm a little morbid sometimes because I will laugh at some inappropriate things.
Oh yes.
And sometimes I can't stop. Like I have to excuse myself. You ever done that before?
Yes.
Like you'll be somewhere, like let's say at a funeral, and just something funny, that nobody else can see but you, and you turn it into something else. And it's like once you get me started, that's it. I got to get out of there.
It's funny.
Because everybody's looking at you like, what the heck?
Why are you laughing at this funeral?
This is sad.
Yeah, I'm crying.
But you didn't see what I just saw. There were spiders in the coffin.
They're like, oh my goodness. Well, on a laughing note, I think that's calling it a day for you and me on the podcast.
Yes, I think so.
Everybody who's listening, thank you so much. You can email me at lisa@weareallpsychic.com if you'd like to be a guest. And if you'd like Missy to interview you with me, that's always an option too. So let us know. And thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll talk to you next week, I guess.
Next week it will be. And Akasha was planning to do her show this weekend, but we just kept missing each other.
And I am so excited about her interview. I cannot wait to hear it.
Me too.
I mean, I've never met her, but I heard this woman is awesome. So
great, yeah.
You guys have got to hear this when she gets it on the ball.
Yeah, I can't wait. Thank you, Misty. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you.
And
bye.
We'll talk to you later. Talk at you later. Missy and I talked after the show, and she pointed out some stuff. She said, check this out. I'll let her say what she said. So what were you thinking would be another way to help with the fear?
So I'm thinking that another good way to overcome fear would be to write it down on a piece of paper and like fold it up and maybe burn it or tear it up or whatever you feel that you need to do, so you're kind of watching your fear go away.
Yeah.
And mentally that might help you a little bit.
It's like
it's
a
worth
metaphor.
A try.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. And I know some people in witchcraft do that, as a matter of fact.
Yes, and I was kind of thinking that too, but I've heard of people doing that like in all kinds of religions and churches. It's
right.
Something.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Good. The first time I walked into a Akasha shop, like the first time I walked into a Akasha shop, it was some kind of pagan holiday, and she had everyone who came in write down something if they wanted to and put it in the fire she had burning. And I did. It felt good. I didn't know about that stuff, and I was like, "Oh, that felt really good. Maybe it'll come true." And it did. I was writing actually she wrote, put down what you're afraid of and put it in there, and I put fear. And what I was thinking of was fear of going out of the house, which I still had a little bit of, but it's gone.
You've come a long way. I'm telling you, that's awesome. Awesome. I've also heard of people doing the paper and putting it in a freezer.
Yeah, and I've
Have
heard
you
of
heard that
burying.
one?
Yeah, and burying it, freeze it in a block of ice or something, and then I've heard of
Yeah,
burying it and stuff like that.
yeah, we can get creative.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good way to start.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
I
that's a
might do it
great idea.
tomorrow.
I might too. As
Yeah,
far as well, tonight's the full moon, new moon. I don't know. You set a new intention by get rid of something. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I guess you could though. I mean, it's
you're getting
well,
rid of fear.
to those who are listening and don't know, it is a full moon, a new moon. I keep saying full moon. It is a new moon today. It's
New
September
moon.
17th, 16th, and this is like for a lot of pagans, it's a time to make new intentions. So maybe a
Yes.
new intention could be to lose the fear.